Radhe Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Vinobi Hari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham.
Jai.
Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Parag Gauri Guruvarg ki jai, Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari ki jai, Radha Vinobi Hari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Shri Lalita Sakhi ki jai, Shri Lalita Saptami ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Gaur.
Dandavat Pranam. Radhe
Dandavat
Radhe.
Pranam. Radhe Radhe. So we will begin today with Mangalacharan, as we do every day. In this book, Shri Gauri Giti Gucha, page 1, Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamna. Namaste Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Vaishnavaya Devi Daitaya Kripabhaye Krishna Sambandha Vidyana Daine Brahmave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premantya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktila Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtale Dinakarine Rupanuga Nirudhapo Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gauri Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padam Bhujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Nirbhava Bhumi Swam Nirdishta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhuma Shri Jagannataya Te Namaha Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanya Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurani Radhe Vrindavareshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Surato Pango Mama Mandam Radirgati Vatsarvasva Padam Dojo Radha Manamohano Divyakrindarayakalpadrumado Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastho Shri Shri Radha Shri Govinda Devo Krishnani Siddhamana Smarami Shrimad Rasarasarambhi Vanshivatattvatasthitaha Karsham Swagar Gopi Gopinath Shri Esrivaha Vrindaye Tulasi Devyayi Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavadne Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta-rupa Swarupakam Bhakta-avataram Bhaktamyam Namami Bhakta-shaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Chaitanya Bhava Mahadavagni-vahanam Shreyakairava-chandrika-vitaranam Vidyavadhum Jivanam Anandam Gurivardhanam Tatibhanam Purnamrikashvadanam Sarvatma Saparam Param Vijayate Shri Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Can you fix this? Thank you. It shouldn't come near me. Thank you.
Gurudev Kabe Tava Karuna Prakashe. Page 35.
It starts with Gurudev, Kabe, K-A-B-E-T-A-B-A, Tava. 35. If you're new to this thread in this online Sangha, if you don't have a songbook, Jiva Pavana Prabhu, look for the name Jiva Pavana. He posts all the kirtans and bhajans that we're singing so that we can all sing together. So please look for his name, and he always posts different nectar as well, so search for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guru.
Did you find the bhajan? It must be in the...
Gurudev Kabe Tava, T-A-V-A.
Kabe Tava Karuna Prakashe. Gurudev Kabe Tava Karuna Prakashe. Kripa Karo Vaisnava Thakur, page 14. Yam Kali Rupa Sharira Nadharata. Page 47.
Starts Y-A-N-K-A-L-I, Young Kali Rupa.
And if you don't have the songbook, then just scroll to the most recent post of Jiva Pavana Prabhu. There he posts the bhajan, so you can follow along. Yam Kali Rupa Sharira Nadharata. Yam Kali Tandra Jape Page 86 in the songbook. Gauranga. Okay. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya सचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय पति पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय हरि हरि कवि मोर होइबे सुदिना Page 122 Sri Lalitashtakam. Somehow opened up the Kaliyadasika. What page is it? Page 303 in the songbook.
This is designed really hard. It's a Sanskrit song, isn't it?
Yes, it's a Sanskrit starting with Radha Mukunda Padasambhava Garma Bindu. Radha Mukunda. Page 303, or just scroll to the most recent post by Jiva Bhavana Prabhu, and there you will have it.
I'm just gonna let you do
So we'll do it all together, slowly. Radha Mukunda Padasambhava Garma Bindu Nirmanchayo Pakarani Krita Deha Laksha Uttunga Sohrida Vishesha Vashakalbham Devi Gunai Sulalitam Lalitam Namami Rakashudha Kiranamangalakam Tidamni Patrashriyam Chakitnacharu Chamurunetam Radha Devi Gunai Sulalitam Lalitam Namami Lasyo Lasatbhuja Kashatrupadatta Chitram Bhatam Shuka Bharanatam Chulikan Chitangim Guru Chala Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande and Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Daite, page 343, I believe. For Krishna Deva, 343, for Radhe Jai Jai, 341. Lady Jiva Bhavana Prabhu, if you can post them back to back. Can you open the window behind you? Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande, Krishna Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande, Manasana Bhukaram Vapaya Pujapadam Bhaktaja Makaram Mahamantra Vishvarati. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Radha Vina Vihari Ki Jai, Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai, Shri Lalita Saptami Ki Jai, Shri Lalita Sati Ki Jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namine Nama Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Nangayate Girim Yatrapatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I'd like to offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Astottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja. In the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Astottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga, Gauriya, Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present, and future, including all of you who are present with us today, I offer my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, Lalite Lalite. So today, as all of you know, we are observing the auspicious appearance celebration festival of Srimati Lalita Saki. Srimati Lalita Saki ki
Jai.
Jai. So before speaking about Lalita Saki personally, there is a process by which we can enter into these subjects. These kinds of subject matters. Gaura Prema Rasarnave Setarange Jevarube Seradha Madhava Antaranga. We know that Lalita Saki is an intimate associate of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. She is one of the prominent gopis. By what medium can we begin to hope to touch on any aspect of her character, of her beauty and her seva? We have learned about how to enter into the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. How? Only by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How do you attain the mercy of Mahaprabhu? Only by the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. How do you attain the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu? Only by the mercy of the Vaishnavas and Sri Guru. So, taking shelter of the lotus feet of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga, I will endeavor to speak something about that person whose glories are so beyond any kind of mundane comprehension that I will be like a baby saying Gugu Gaga. Hopefully Srila Gurudev will be pleased with my endeavor. So we've seen in the life of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, who is the best of the Rupa Anugas, that by the mercy of the Vaishnavas and Sri Nityananda Prabhu, this is Guru Tattva, he was able to take shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu did not keep Raghunath Das Goswami to himself. Immediately he placed Raghunath where? in the care of Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami. From that time, Raghunath Das Goswami became known as Swaruper Raghu, the Raghunath of Swarup Damodar. And Swarup Damodar Goswami taught Raghunath Das Goswami everything. All of his interactions with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all of his moods of love and affection and service to the Murti of Radha and Krishna's Prem Purushottam Sri Sachinandan Gaura Hari Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Swarup Damodar Goswami taught all of that to Raghunath Das Goswami. And then Raghunath Das Goswami taught all of that to Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who has given us all of this beautiful transcendental nectar in the form of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So why am I mentioning these personalities? 1. Raghunath Das Goswami is the best of Rupanugas. So what is our goal? What is our hope? What is our aspiration? Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Same or Sampada, Same or Bhajana Pujan, Same or Pranadhan, Same or Abharana, Same or Jivanera Jivan. The lotus feet of Shri Rupa Goswami in this world and the lotus feet of Shri Rupa Manjari in that world. Both are the same. So, Raghunath Das Goswami is the best of the followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami has shown us the process. He is our Prayojan Acharya. That Acharya who is teaching by his own example how to attain the highest goal. For us who are aspiring in the path of the Goswamis, in the path of Rupa Goswami, known as Rupanugas. For those of us who are aspiring in that way, we must eventually come to follow the path laid out by Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expressed so much happiness and pleasure in witnessing the kind of service that Raghunath Das Goswami was performing. But ultimately, what is our goal? What is our aspiration? Our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj wanted us to have a clear understanding of a very particular goal for Rupanuga Vaishnavas, so that we would not be distracted or confused by so many of the other offerings which come to us. And what is that goal? I only want to be a Palyadasi of Srimati Radhika. This means a maidservant of Srimati Radhika, in the group of Lalita Sakhi, under the guidance of Sri Rupa Manjari. That is very, very particular, and that is the goal of all those who are true Rupanuga Vaishnavas, those who are following the mood of Rupa Goswami in sadhak form and also in their internally conceived siddha, or eternally perfected forms. So, from this, we can understand how important it is to come under the guidance of Rupa Goswami and Swarup Damodar Goswami. Because who is Swarup Damodar Goswami in Krishna Lila? Lalita Sakhi. So what is Swarup Damodar Goswami's function with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Like Rai Ramananda, who is Vishaka Sakhi in Krishna Lila, Swarup Damodar Goswami is Lalita Sakhi in Krishna Lila. And what is the function of Swarup Damodar Goswami in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela? It is to assist Krishna, who's endeavoring to taste the bhavs of Srimati Radhika, how to taste them properly. So Swarup Damodar Goswami is there as an assistant, watching and guiding. In the same way, Vishaka Sakhi is there watching and guiding, because Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, tasting the nectar of what it is like to love Krishna from the perspective of Rishabhananandini, Srimati Radharani. So Swarup Damodar Goswami is there in the very intimate experiences of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As he's experiencing, he's there as a support constantly. And in Krishna Lila, Lalita Sakhi is also there very intimately in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna as a support. I approached from this angle instead of directly through the angle of Radha and Krishna's Leela, because only by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can one enter into the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And that includes the pastimes of Lalita Sakhi in Radha and Krishna's Leelas. So I'm begging at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Rupa Goswami, that we may be able to describe something, what we have heard from our Gurudev, what we have read from our Guru Varga on the subject of Sri Lalita Sakhi, as today is her appearance day. So Lalita Sakhi is just a little bit older than Srimati Radhika. And because of this, she has a very special kind of nature or relationship with Srimati Radhika. What is that relationship? She has some vatsalyata, some protective mood over her, like an older sister protecting her younger sister, especially if there's any bully at school. But Krishna's nature is to always take whatever he can, however he can, whenever he can, because that is who he is. He is Vishai Bhagavan. And Srimati Radhika's nature is naturally to give everything in the service of Krishna, because she is the supreme ashray, the shelter of love and affection. Her nature and function is how to serve Krishna in every way. She is the supreme shelter of love and affection, and the supreme source of fulfilling all of Krishna's desires. All happiness that Krishna experiences comes via his Hladini Shakti, which is his transcendental love, happiness, bliss, potency. And that Hladini Shakti has a Devata, Adhishtatri Devata, that is Rishabhananandini, Srimati Radharani, Srimati Radhika. So who is Lalita Sakhi? Now tomorrow we're going to observe Radhashtami, which is the appearance day of Srimati Radhika. So actually these days are very intricately connected, because one cannot really speak about Lalita Sakhi without speaking about Radha Tattva as well. So Radha is the complete potency of Krishna, Purna Shakti, and he's the complete possessor of all Shaktis. There's no real difference between the possessor of Shakti and Shakti itself, the potent and potency. To say potent implies that there is potency, and to say potency implies that it is coming from the potent. And you cannot really separate those two. In some way, yes, you can say there's heat, and that is a function of the fire. So in your mind, you can try to separate it, but really fire and heat cannot be separated. In the same way, Radha and Krishna are eternally connected. And so are all of her expansions. So her primary expansion, her first and foremost manifestations. Why does she have manifestations? She expands herself unlimitedly. Each mood of her love and affection has a personification, and she has unlimited moods of love and affection for Krishna. Each mood has a personification. And one of the prime personifications of one of her prime moods, the manifestation of her Vamya Bhav. Vamya means leftist. Leftist means contrary and tough. Is Lalita Sakhi. Lalita Sakhi. So today is the appearance day of Lalita Sakhi, which is she is actually the personification of Radhika's mood of
no.
No. Which is quite interesting. She has unlimited mood. She also has personifications of the other aspect. So there are 4 main groups of gopis mentioned in Shastra. 4 main groups. And each one has a group leader, Yudeshwari. These 4 main groups are Radhika's group, that is known as Svapaksha, her own group. who are completely inclined towards Srimati Radhika. That includes the Ashtasakis, foremost of whom is Lalita Saki. Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, Champakrata, Induleka, Tungavidya, Sudevi, Rangadevi. All of these personalities are within Radhika's own group. But Srimati Radhika also manifests herself in unlimited forms with unlimited moods. And so there is another group called Vipaksha. Vipaksha is the opposite group that is headed by Chandravali. And she is the embodiment of Radhika's Dakshina Bhav. Dakshina means right. They call it rightist and leftist. Leftist is contrary, rightist is supremely submissive. So within Srimati Radhika, all of these bhavs are there. Chandravali is the personification of Srimati Radhika's extreme submissive mood. And there are her own gopis as well, who also have that kind of mood and who support and assist in that kind of serving mood toward Krishna. Then there's another group known as Tatashta. Tatashta literally means neutral, like the jivas, Tatashta. We can go either way, but the Tatashtas kind of have a tendency of leaning toward Chandravali and her group, but they're more neutral. And then there's another group known as Suhrid. Suhrid means very friendly, or Hrid means of the heart, and Su means super. So of the heart means they are also a little bit neutral, but definitely leaning toward Srimati Radhika and her group. 4 main groups of gopis. But Lalita Saki is the prominent within Srimati Radhika's own internal Svapaksha group, her own group. And although Lalita Saki is qualified to be the leader of any group, still her nature and tendency is to assist and serve Radha and Krishna. Lalita Saki has a mood of always serving Radha and Krishna, but also leaning toward Srimati Radhika. What is primarily for her happiness and pleasure, but she's also looking at Krishna's pleasure and happiness. So her mood is as a Sakhi, as a friend of Srimati Radhika, as a girlfriend, and she coaches Srimati Radhika. Because Radhika has all bhavs within her, naturally. Lalita Saki coaches Radhika that whatever you do, play hard to get. Do not give in to that person, Krishna. Why does she do this? Because this increases Krishna's transcendental ecstasy unlimited times more. When something is easy to get, it's not as appreciated as that thing which is difficult to get. If you need to endeavor very intensively for something, then that thing is considered valuable. If something is very easy to get, right? You can go to the market and get potatoes. It's easy. But
asparagus? No.
Yeah, you can't get asparagus very easily here. But I was going to speak about diamonds. It's easy to get so many different vegetables in the market, but you can't find diamonds in that market. And even if you go to the jewelers, maybe they won't sell you a real one. Like today, we received so many beautiful silks for our Thakurji from a company on Amazon that was claiming raw, Bangalore silk. 6 beautiful silks that came, and we tested the strings, and they're all fake. They're all made of plastic, so we have to send them back. How rare is it to get a very good, high-quality gem? So Srimati Radhika is that very, very difficult personality by the instruction and coaching of Lalita Saki. Don't make it easy for Krishna. If you follow this, he will understand your real value, and he will always be desperate for you. And this will increase his transcendental ecstasy more and more. So this is the function of Lalita Saki. She's always playing a role within Radha and Krishna's pastimes. She also meets with Krishna personally, but her mood is always to support Srimati Radhika and her love and affection. She wants Krishna to understand the greatness of Srimati Radhika's love and affection. In Sri Lalitashtakam, there it is said that we should understand that the love of Radha and Krishna and these pastimes are completely transcendental and beyond any material conception. Unfortunately, someone who's trapped in material consciousness is speaking about this subject matter. However, we should understand that their mood and their love and affection, because it is exclusively for Krishna, Krishnendriya Priti Icha Dhare Premanam, then it is known as prem. It is transcendental and divine love and affection. And anything which is for our sense gratification or the sense gratification of others in this material world, this is known as lust. Very dense and dark. Whereas love for Krishna is compared to the sun on a cloudless day, completely clear and full and beaming and powerful. So really there's a difference of, as our Guru Varga would say, heaven and hell between the two. That transcendental calm, prem, is pervertedly reflected in this material world as lust. But we should not make any mistake to confuse the two with each other. They are very, very different. So Lalita Sakhi, her function, her nature is to please Krishna, but she also is so surrendered. Her mood is so dedicated to Radha and Krishna that even seeing one drop of perspiration on their lotus feet, she will give her life hundreds and thousands of times to remove any difficulty that comes to Radha and Krishna. So her love and affection for them, not just for Krishna, but also for Srimati Radhika, is so high because she encourages Radhika to have this mood, to manifest this very strong leftist mood. And she's the personification of that. Krishna himself has a healthy respect for her. In other words, fear. And so does Srimati Radhika, because she is taking a position that she is like the guru of Krishna and Radhika. She can stop Krishna. Hey, you're not qualified to meet with my Sakhi. She has this power. So Krishna is very careful with Lalita Sakhi. And so is Srimati Radhika. And so it's quite interesting that our Guru Varga, coming in the line of Rupa Goswami, has a very strong allegiance to Sri Lalita Sakhi. Coming in the line of Rupa Goswami, who is in the group of Lalita Sakhi as Sri Rupa Manjari. Why? Because our Guru Varga, those who are really Rupanugas, they don't like to see that Radhika is running after Krishna, that Radhika is crying for Krishna. Rather, they want to see that Krishna is always running after Srimati Radhika, like a male peacock, always trying to capture the attention of the peahen. And she's ignoring, she's going this way and that way, and he's putting on a beautiful show. Look at me, notice me, like that. So, in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Rupanuga line, our Gurudev explained, our Param Gurudev explained, all of our Rasik Bhavuk Acharyas have explained that our desire is to see that Krishna is always trying to get the attention of Srimati Radhika. And coming in the line of Lalita Sakhi, this is their mood. All of those who are in Radha Paksha, they have this mood, that they always want to see that she is victorious, that she is supreme. As our Gurudev affectionately said, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And Srimati Radhika is? The superior personality of Godhead. What is the proof of this? Krishna says, Radhika Premera Guru, Ami Shishyanata. Radhika is my Guru of Prem, and I am simply her dancing pupil. My Guru of divine love and affection. So even Krishna is taking this mood toward her. And this we can attribute also greatly to the personification of her Bhamya Bhav, Sri Lalita Sakhi. So because Krishna has a healthy respect for her, and Srimati Radhika has a healthy respect for her, and she assists in increasing their transcendental pleasure unlimited times. She assists in their Yavad Ashray Vritti. Gurudev said, even when you think it might hit a ceiling, it doesn't stop there. It continues unlimitedly more and more and more. Because of this, we are coming in her group, under her guidance, under the guidance of her maidservants, praying in the dust of her lotus feet, that may you count me among the members of your group. What time is it?
It's not even 7.
Okay. So, some more can be discussed a little bit afterward, but I wanted to invite Sudevi to speak some things about Sri Lalita Sakhi, some of the pastimes which our Gurudev described about Lalita Sakhi or with Lalita Sakhi in a prominent roles, because these are quite essential for us to understand how she is playing in the pastimes of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Sri Lalita Sakhi ki Jai.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
So as we've just heard, today is a very glorious and auspicious day. If we want really and truly to have entrance into the heart of our Guru Varg, then we have to understand what are the intricacies of the heart of Krishna. Really, that is only Vrindavan. Vrindavan is Krishna's heart, and it's expanded in such a way that Krishna can now take and taste and understand his own heart to such an incredible extent. It's the only word, it's just continuous. So when we hear about Lalita Sakhi, and we hear first the tattva, it's to give us a platform to understand that this is not ordinary. She is not an ordinary coward girl. She is not just some beautiful lady, young girl. But actually, she is non-different from Srimati Radhika. Srimati Radhika is expanding every desire that Krishna has, every mood that he wants to experience. Srimati Radhika fulfills that. And one of those moods is this leftist mood, this contrary mood, indignation. She has this mood where, although she's very soft and gentle and sweet and loving, at the same time, because her heart runs so much towards Srimati Radhika Thakurani, because of that, she has this protective mood. I have to protect her. She's so innocent. She's so easily giving of her heart. If I don't protect her, what will happen? So in Vedic culture, even if you're a day older than someone, you're considered senior, you're older. So Lalita Sakhi, sometimes it's said that she's a day older or that she's 27 days older. Our Guru Varg have said eternally she is 27 days older. Generally, we don't think of that, but for them, she thinks, I'm older. I'm more senior than you, so you must listen to me. I have your best interest at heart. There are so many beautiful places that our Gurudev would take us when he would bring us on Vrajmandal Parikrama. And one of those places, very, very prominent places, was called Dan Gati. And there are many Dan Gatis, but one of them is called Shankari Kwar. And at that place, Krishna used to go and collect Dan. Dan means taxes. Krishna, he appointed himself and his coward boy friends, his sakhas, as tax collectors. He would always know if any rishi or any sadhu had come and they were performing any kind of yajna, that automatically the gopis would come from every try to assist and get blessings. What kind of blessings? Oh, please fulfill my deepest heart's desire. Oh, I only want to love Krishna. So they would go, and their in-laws, their mother-in-laws, sister-in-laws would send them, go and get blessings on our household. Carry all these pots of milk and yogurt and butter to those rishis. So at this place, Shankarikor, very close actually to there, at a place called Govinda Kund, where Krishna was bathed, one rishi was doing a yajna. And there, why are you giving me that look?
Shankarikor is not close to Govindakund.
It's in
Shankarikor is in Bashana.
Yes. Anyway, they were going to where then?
In Shankarikor?
Because I'm thinking of Dangati in
Right.
Govardhan, because I said Dangati. But where's the one?
Shankarikor is in Bashana.
Yeah, but where were they going?
They were just passing through.
No, they were going somewhere.
I don't remember.
Ah, okay. He read it to me earlier, so... Anyway, they would go to this place, and when any cowherd boy would carry anything, they would carry it on a stick, and they would have like sacks on each side, or pots hanging on each side of the stick, and they would cross from one mountain to the other. And there's also a very, very fine path that you have to go through in between both mountains, and only one person at a time can go through. So the gopis were engaged in going there quite often. And Krishna, Madhu Mangal, Subal, all would come there and they would collect taxes. Our Gurudev said that Krishna would stop them and say, oh, where do you think you're going? You have to pay tax.
The gopis?
The gopis.
Ah.
And the gopis would look at Krishna and say, who are you? Who appointed you the tax collector of this place? And Krishna said, oh, don't you know? I am Vrindavan Ishwar. I am the Lord of Vrindavan. Oh, all the gopis started laughing and clapping. You are the Ishwar of Vrindavan. Can we ask you something? Have you planted any trees or creepers here? Have you done anything for the upliftment of Braj? No, you only go with all of your cows and all of your sakhas, and you trample all of the trees and the creepers around. What have you done to make yourself the Ishwar? And Krishna looked at them. They were saying, we are the ones that have planted every tree and creeper in Braj. We have made all of the kunjas and caves like they are. What have you done to collect taxes? Krishna said, oh, don't you know? My wife is Vrinda. Vrinda is the queen of Vrindavan. So she is my wife, and automatically the property of the wife is the property of the husband. So it's mine. The gopis started laughing. They said, oh, really? Then let us ask her. And Krishna didn't know, but Vrinda Devi, Vrinda Sakhi was there. Oh, Vrinda, is this boy your husband? Vrinda Devi said, no, I would never marry such a debauched person, such a low-class boy. I would never do it. He's not my husband. I'm not married to him. And anyway, it is true. Vrindavan is mine, but I have offered it fully and completely to the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. She is Vrindavan Ishwari. Oh, all the gopis started clapping and laughing. Krishna said, do you not know who I am? I am so religious. I have never told a lie. Oh, the gopis started laughing and laughing. Oh, yes. What kind of religious person are you? We know. When you were only 7 days old, you killed a woman. All she wanted to do was give you milk, but you killed her. They were speaking of Putana. Oh, you killed a woman. Is this a religious activity? And Krishna, by the way, which house in Vrindavan have you not stolen from? Can you answer that? Is there even one house throughout all of Raj that you haven't performed some kind of thievery? Krishna just looked at them and said, anyway, and then they continued. And you are calling all the gopis in the middle of the night to dance with you. Never mind, they're leaving their dharma, their shyness. They're leaving all social etiquette. You did this. Is that what kind of religious person you are? Krishna looked down in shame, but still he held his ground. No, Anyway, if you want to pass through this way, you have to give me tax. And then he would make a sign, and his sakas and Krishna would take all of the milk and the yogurt and the butter from the gopis. And in doing so, that substances would fall all over the gopis. And they would become so angry. Finally, Srimati Radhika, Lalita, Vishaka, Sakhi all got together with thousands of gopis. They said, okay, we're done with this. We can't take this kind of behavior anymore. We have to teach them a lesson. So they decided that there would be many thousands of gopis hiding all over this place, Shankari Kor. There are two mountains, Brahma Parvat and Vishnu Parvat. So in between these mountains is where they would have to walk, but they were hiding and surrounding all. Krishna and his sakas would be there, they knew. And so they sent just a few gopis, Srimati Radhika, Lalita, Vishaka. They started to walk through there, knowing that Krishna would happily try to stop them. At that time, Krishna put his stick in front and said, "Up, you can't pass. You have so many beautiful, wonderful substances, and I want to taste all of them." And the Sakis began to smile. "Oh, okay, we'll let you taste all of them." And then Lalita Sakhi made a sign. And at that moment, all of the gopis descended on those few coward boys. There weren't so many thousands. There were just a few of Krishna's very intimate sakhas and Krishna. So they pounced on them. Gurudev said they took Madhu Mangal Shika and tied it to a tree and began smacking his face. And he was saying, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. I saw that butter and I became so hungry. Besides, it's the association of that boy Krishna. You know, if you have any kind of bad association, you become like that.
That's my phone.
So then at that time, they grabbed a hold of all the other sakas. They grabbed a hold of Krishna. Gurudev said, Lalita and Radhika made Krishna hold his ears, stand up and down, and say, I will never do again, I will never do again. At that time, they took Krishna and they dressed him up like a gopi. They put a choli on him, they put a skirt on him and a dupatta. And then they made him walk back and forth with a pot of butter on his head. Srimati Lalita Sakhi was standing up on the hill, and she threw a stone at the pot, and it broke on Krishna, and all the butter went on him. Actually, Gurudev said that the gopis were beating and smacking Krishna so much that his face got swollen. And he was praying, please forgive me, I'll never do again, I'll never do again. And the gopis were saying, are you sure you won't do again? No, I won't do it, I promise, I promise. And one day, after Gurudev took us to Shankari Kor, Kishori Mohan's father, Matilidish Prabhu, we were back at Modi Bhavan, and he said to Gurudev, you told this Leela today, and then you told how the Sakhas and Krishna promised, I will never do it again, I'll never do it again. Did they? Did they keep that promise? And Gurudev said, no. The very next day, they again began to collect taxes. And then Gurudev was saying that from that time up until even now, tomorrow, they perform this beautiful Leela at that place every year. They enjoy this Leela. And if ever even you go on parikrama alone and you're just walking through the places there, if you go to this one Shankari Kor, there will be young Brajbasi children who will follow you and sit at that place and wait. And they will wait. I already told about Lalita and the stone. You were on the phone.
Yes.
So they will wait and you have to give taxes. And Gurudev would say, this is part of this place's Leela. So many devotees would get angry. Oh, they're trying to get money from us. But Gurudev would say, this is part of the beauty of that Leela, that still to this day, we have to pay tax to come through there. Nowadays, not so much the sweetness of your heart you're giving, but you have to give money. So Gurudev also told so many beautiful Leelas. Not now.
No. Okay. We brought the things for Radhika. I was just going to get it. It's going to be 2 minutes.
Okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So Gurudeva also told one beautiful Hari Katha, and he was telling how Krishna was really worried one day. And he went to Srimati Radhika and he said, you know, I've heard that Nard Muni is close by. And I don't know why, but he is really a troublemaker. Everywhere he goes, trouble follows. It must be him. So he began to try to warn Srimati Radhika, whatever he does, if he is in our villages, be careful and don't become upset. Just try to be clear-headed and understand that Nard Muni does all of this kind of troublemaking. But Srimati Radhika wouldn't really listen. Gurudev said she didn't care to hear it so much. So one day, when Nard Muni came, he was in Nandagaon, and there is one place, Lalita Sakhi has one kund. She was there, and she was making a beautiful garland for Krishna. And she was making it for Srimati Radhika, so Radhika could place it on Krishna. So Nard Muni was watching her for some time, and she would make one beautiful garland, and then she would hold it up and look at it, and place it to the side, and again she would start and make a new garland, and she was doing this again and again. So Nard Muni, he came in front of her. He said, "Oh, Devi Lalite, why are you doing this, making a garland, checking the size and putting it aside?" And she said, "Oh, Nardji, my pranam." She said, "Actually, I'm making a garland for my Sakhi Radhika so that she can place it around the neck of her beloved, Shama Sundar. But every time I make the garland, I'm thinking it's either too long or too short." Nardji, she said, "Oh, Lalita Sakhi, Lalita Devi, don't you know, Krishna is very close by. I suggest that we go there, and you can check the garland right in front of you so you can see if it fits." And Lalita Sakhi thought it's a very good idea. So they went to where Krishna was. Krishna saw Nard Muni and he thought, oh no, trouble is about to begin. At that time, he told what Lalita Sakhi was doing. And so Lalita Sakhi made one garland, and Nard Muni, as soon as she was just checking to see, Nard Rishi said, "Oh, you should just go ahead and put it around the neck of Krishna. Why wait? Go ahead, put it on Krishna's neck." And Lalita Sakhi thought, "Oh, I was making it for my Radhika, but he's here and Nard Muni is telling me to do it, so I should do it." So she put the garland on Krishna. At that time, Nard Muni looked at Krishna and said, "Do you remember, one day not so long ago, you told me that you would give me darshan of you and Lalita Devi swinging, performing a swing festival." And Krishna was thinking, oh no, this is going to be bad, I know it. And he said, yes. And Nard Muni said, "Then I'm asking you to do it now. Can you do this festival now?" So Krishna sat down on the swing, and Srimati Lalita Sakhi sat next to him, and they began to swing. At that time, Srimati Radhika was supposed to be meeting Krishna, but she was somewhat late because her very intimate manjaris were doing her shringar and they were late. So Nard Muni went to where Srimati Radhika was and said, "Oh," instead of saying Jai Radha Madhava, "Oh Radhe Radhe," he was saying Jai Lalita, Jai Krishna, Jai Lalita, Jai Krishna. At that time, Srimati Radhika said, "Oh Nardji, my pranam to you. What auspicious thing has happened? What has gone on that you are calling out the name of my Sakhi Lalita and Krishna? What happened?" And Nard Muni said, "Oh, such a wonderful sight. There in one place I saw that your Sakhi Lalita is playing on a swing with Krishna, and she garlanded him." At that time, Radhika thought, no, she wouldn't do that, not without me. So immediately, even though she didn't believe it, she got up and started walking toward that place. And off in the distance, she saw that Lalita and Krishna were swinging together and alone, doing a little bit of man, like a little bit of jealousy. She ran from that place and Krishna saw. Immediately Krishna ran after her and said, I told you about this Nard Muni. I told you what he would do, but you didn't listen. And then immediately her mind broke and Lalita brought her and they performed so many swing pastimes and so many leelas. Our Gurudev used to tell us that we should have a specific goal in our bhakti. That everything that we do in bhakti should be done with a goal, not just picking up our mala and chanting, picking it up, Hare Krishna, no. Why am I doing it? What is my goal? Not that I have entered or attained that goal, but we should understand why we are doing what we are doing, with what mood we are endeavoring. We hear that actually we can reach perfection by only having a goal and having greed for that goal. So if we keep our intention very, very clear and we understand what is my goal, I am here, I am in the muck of it, I am so lost in all of my anarthas of unwanted things, and every kind of little thing in this world is taking my attention away. This is true, but yet I know my goal. And when I am doing anything in bhakti that is bhakti related, I am doing it with a goal and an intention. And what is that? That I only want to be the Palyadasi of Srimati Radhika in the gun of Lalita Sakhi under the guidance of Shri Rupa and Raman Manjari. This is my goal. This is all I am doing all of this for. Not because the food is good, not because the people are nice, not because Vrindavan is a beautiful place and Jamuna is there, not because of that. So many pilgrims may come here and bathe here in Jamuna. Why? To get rid of their sins, to have a beautiful child or a beautiful husband, to gain any kind of material prosperity. When you go to Govardhan, you see that very thing. People will go and they will do parikrama of Govardhan, the actual physical manifestation of the heart of Srimati Radhika. And what do? They take Govardhan Shilas and they make houses, many multi-layered houses. Oh Giriraj, fulfill my desire. In this life or my next life, you should give me a house that is like a mansion. I should be rich, I should be famous, I should have beauty. I should have a beautiful husband or a wife or children. I should have so many material things. Gurudev said, easily Giriraj will give it. Yes, take it and go. Gurudev said, be careful. If you do these kind of things, what are you doing? You are building a prison house of your own making in the material world. You will get the fruit of that desire. When we are chanting our Harinam, when we are doing Kirtan, when we are taking Mahaprasadam, when we are doing Thakur Seva, all of these activities of bhakti are like fire. They act and they burn. It means even if we don't know, we're like a baby, and we don't know if we touch fire, it will burn us. Just because we don't know doesn't mean it won't burn. So our Gurudev said when we are doing the activities of bhakti, just because we might not understand doesn't mean it won't act. Doesn't mean there won't be some reciprocation. And Krishna himself says, as you come to me, I reward you accordingly. If you come to me with all kinds of material desires, if those things are the most prominent in your heart, then Krishna will give those things. That is why we first take shelter of Sri Gurudev. Why? Because Sri Gurudev blocks that process. Oh, you're going to give any material thing to this one who I've accepted. No, they have asked to have entrance into this gun, into this Lalita Sakhi's group. They want this goal and aspiration to be the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. Oh Krishna, you cannot give them all of these material things. Krishna becomes astonished. Oh, they want that. They're asking to be the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. How astonishing is that? They want nothing for themselves. Even they don't know that's what they want. but our Gurudev is our protector on the path of bhakti. The other day it was the appearance of Ganesh, and Kishori Mohan Prabhu said, we celebrate our Gurudev as that personality that removes all obstacles on our path to Krishna, on our path of bhakti and sadhana. That is what Ganesh does for any sadhak. He removes obstacles. You can also worship him for wealth, for health, for so many things, but his main thing is to remove obstacles. We go to the feet of our Gurudev. Please kick these all obstacles, means all of these material desires and conceptions out of my heart. And even if they are there, if it is that karmic reaction thing that they will come, let them come automatically. Oh Gurudev, you know the real essence of my Atma, of my heart. What is the real necessity? I know that in this world there is no real love because it's not eternal. And I know that the things I cry about for this material body are also temporary. And when I heal something now, or I attain something now, my next desire will pop up, and my next sickness will come out, and I will again start praying for something else. Oh Gurudev, protect me from all of this. Please only see the essence of who I am eternally in relation to Srimati Radhika and Krishna, and only let those things be fulfilled. What will come may come. I only want this. So if we chant with this kind of goal, especially on these holy days of which now we are celebrating so many of them, our Gurudev said that on these days, all of the gopis, all of the Brajabasis, especially Lalita Sakhi, especially Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Rupa Manjari, they're going here and there and they're looking. Who wants to be enlisted? Who wants their name taken, our Gurudev would say, in the register of Lalita Sakhi? We hear how she immediately took Rati Manjari. Oh, she saw this beautiful gopi who wanted to be the Palyadasi of Srimati Radhika. So Lalita Dev, he took her, and she brought her to Srimati Radhika. Oh Radhika, this beautiful, qualified, lovely one, please accept her as your own. She wants to serve you. And very, very shyly, Srimati Radhika looked on Rati Manjari with so much vatsalyata, like a motherly, affectionate mood came out, and she embraced her and then enlisted her in her seva. And what was that? She began to teach her how to play the veena, how to do all kinds of riddles and rhymes and poetry, all kinds of tricky ways to attract Krishna. She began to teach her ras. And all of those gopis like Lalita and Vishaka began to teach her. So our Gurudev is like that. I want to enlist you. Srimati Lalita Sakhi is going, especially on the day of Krishna, the day of Srimati Radhika, and her own day. What can I give in charity? What do you want? Why are you chanting? Why are you calling the name of my Swamini so often? Radhe, 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 Jai, 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 Shri Radhe. Why are you calling her my Sakhi like this? What do you want? Oh Lalite, today on this very auspicious day of your birthday, I also want some dan. I want to collect any kind of bhiksha from you actually. Not tax, but any kind of donation. Please take my name in your register. Please enlist me in the service eternally of our Swamini, Srimati Radhika Thakurani. Our Gurudev said this should be very clear in us. Whether we actually understand it or not, it doesn't matter. Srimati Lalita Devi understands it. Gurudev understands it. Our entire Guru Varg understands it. Srila Rupa Goswami understands it. Even Krishna himself understands it. Oh, you don't want to be a queen in Dwarka. Oh, you don't want these other things. You only want that. I'm not even qualified to give it. I can't even do that. I'm only praying to them to allow me to have any seva vritti, to have that seva adhikar. I'm even praying for that. But Lalita Sakhi, she can give it. So on this day we pray We pray to our Guru Varg, who are all coming in that lineage. They are all coming and giving this mood of seva to Srimati Radhika. It is so high, and it's not something really that is proper to talk about so easily, especially if it goes on YouTube and it's on Facebook. These things are so extraordinary. But our Gurudev and our Guru Varg are so specific. They don't want us to waste time. You don't want to go here to Dwarka. You don't want to go to Sri Ram. You don't want to even go to Mathuresh Krishna. I only want Krishna in Vrindavan. And even Krishna in Vrindavan, how many kinds of Krishna are there? Oh, Yashodanandan Krishna? Is it that Krishna? Is it the Krishna that is playing with the Sakhas? Is it the Krishna playing with the gopis? No, it's not even that Krishna. It is a very specific Krishna that I am crying for. It's that Krishna who is also praying at the feet of Srimati Radhika, that I also want to be entered into your Seva Kunj. And at the feet of her manjaris, he's praying. That is my Krishna. That is how specific our Guru Varga is, and how specific they want us to pray. We can pray, please remove all of these unwanted things from my heart. Even I think I want them. Just like when you're a kid, if you ask a child, what is your greatest desire? Ooh, I want a house made of ice cream. You know, something ridiculous. Oh, I want, a house made of chocolate, or I want an endless supply of lollipops, or, something ridiculous like that. You can have anything. Oh, I want the biggest candy house in the world. We want everything sweet and everything that really makes us sick. That's what children want. That's what we are like in this material world. We're like children. We think we're adults and we think we know what's good for us. But we're only like children, asking for things for our body. Maybe we're asking now for bitter things because our body can't take sweet things. But still we're asking for all kinds of temporary things, like children asking for all kinds of candy, thinking it will make us happy when it will only make us sick. That's what we do. So our Gurudev tells us, be very, very clear. Don't pray for any kind of material thing. Pray for this mood, for this seva adhikar, that I want to serve Srimati Radhika and Krishna, leaning towards Srimati Radhika. This is my prayer. Shyama Sundar Shikanda Shekara Smeraha Samurali Manohara Radhika Rasikamam Kripanidhe Swapriya Charana Kinkarin Kuru. Krishna, O you who wears a peacock feather and has a beautiful smiling face and who plays the flute so beautifully, if you can grant me anything, if you can grant any desire, the deepest desire of my heart, then, O Krishna, I'm asking you for one thing and one thing only. Make me a kinkari at the feet of your beloved Srimati Radhika. Kinkari means what to do, what to do. What seva can I do? Is there any seva to be done? Our Gurudev says this can begin here and now, in our homes, thinking and seeing it to be the mandir of the Lord. What can I do to serve Krishna? How can I chant? How can I read? How can I do kirtan? How can I get association? What?
I was cooking.
Cooking. All the things Gurudev said that we do in our daily lives, the gopis do in their daily lives. But yet they reach perfection and we wilt away. Why? Because our minds are centered in this world and their minds are centered on Krishna. So our Srila Prabhupada was always telling us that we should be Krishna conscious, but a very specific Krishna with a very specific consciousness. And this day, Lalita Saptami, is that day where her heart is melting and overflowing and she wants to give anything. What can I give you? Oh, sadhakas of this world, you're crying and praying for what? Oh, you want to be enlisted in my gun. Yes, yes. Gurudev said she is always searching everywhere in Vrindavan. When any little girl is born in Braj, immediately when it is her first grain ceremony, she makes any arrangement so that the first grains of that little girl will be the remnants of Srimati Radhika. She makes all the arrangements for that blooming of the heart to take place. So today is the day when her melted heart can come toward us and we can pray to her. I don't even know that this is what I want, but my Gurudev is one of your own. And my Gurudev told me that this is what I should pray to you. So I'm begging today that you should also take my name in your register and enlist me as one of the many very beautiful maidservants of Srimati Radhika. This is my only prayer. So, Dandavat Pranam.
Jai Srila Lita Saki ki
Jai.
Jai. Dandavat Pranam. So Sudevi just spoke so beautifully about Srimati Lalita Saki. Did you tell Alta Bahari?
No, I only told 2 Leelas. I didn't tell.
Okay. I had to run out for a second because the Mukutwala, who was supposed to be making something for Radhastami, was a little bit late with it, so they sent a few pieces in advance. So, Lalita Saki's village is just near Varshana. If you go down the road from Varshana, you keep going back further along that channel, that beautiful river full of lotus flowers. And you go further until there's a mountain. There's one mountain on the left and there's another mountain on the right. The mountain on the right is known as Uchagao. It means high. Ucha means high and Gao means town. High village, and that's the town of Lalita Saki. On the other side, there's a mountain called Saki Giri Parvat. And that is the mountain where the gopis are always playing so many wonderful pastimes with Krishna. So, Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaja explained, because Lalita Saki also came from a different locale, so did Srimati Radhika and Krishna. Radhika was found in Vrishabhanukund, in the lotus flower by Vrishabhanu Maharaj, or in any other kalpa. She was born from Kirtida in Raval. And Krishna also was born from Mother Yashoda in Gokul. But after some time, when Krishna, his family moved to Nandagaon, and established their family there, Vrishabhanu Maharaj moved to Barshana and established his family in Barshana Dham. So Lalita Saki, not because of any other reason other than the reality of her heart, she cannot be separate from them. So wherever her family was living, she also came close so that she could always assist in the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj explained this. So she stays in Uchagaon. And just opposite that is the Saki Giri Parvat. And there are so many beautiful places. It was these stones were known as like Chitra Shila. Chitra means paintings, because the gopis used to make paintings on all of these stones. They would use very semi-precious stones and grind them down and make all of these colors. And still, I don't know now, but when we were going there with our Gurudeva on parikrama, he would bring us on top, and there you would see one stone that had a painting, some remnant of a painting by Chitra Saki, who was one of the Ashtasakis of Srimati Radhika. So, also so many footprints were there, melted in the stones from the gopis. Our Gurudev, he complained. I remember, he complained. He said, before there were so many thousands of footprints everywhere. He said, but people are coming with chisels and hammers and breaking these footprints out and taking them home to their own temples. And Gurudev was very upset about this, that we should leave the Dham as it is and not try to claim bits and pieces like that. So, but when our Gurudev would bring us there to this Saki Giri Parvat, he would be there and telling us so many sweet pastimes. One prominent place on that Saki Giri Parvat is a place known as Altapahari. Altapahari is a place where Lalita Sakhi and Krishna and all of the gopis were there, and they were enjoying one another's company. And at that time, Lalita Sakhi was sitting there next to Krishna, and on the glance of Srimati Radhika, some of the other Sakhis came behind and they tied Lalita Sakhi's cloth to Krishna's cloth. Now, in Vedic culture, not only in Vedic culture, well, in Indian culture, they still do it. In America and in the West, they use this term called tying the knot, but still in India, they literally do it. They actually tie your clothes together and it's supposed to remain bound, and this is symbolic of the husband and wife remaining bound for their whole life. And in America, I guess they don't really tie a knot anymore, so maybe that's why they're not bound for their whole lives. So Srimati Radhika glanced at her gopi friends and they tied Lalita Sakhi's cloth to Krishna's. And then she glanced at the others, Vishaka Sakhi and others, and they started chanting Vedic mantras while others started showering flowers.
And they were doing wedding songs.
And they were chanting and singing wedding songs. And Lalita was like, what's going on here? What's going on? And she tried to get up and run away, but her cloth was tied to Krishna's. And then they all surrounded them so they couldn't leave. And then they did a big wedding ceremony there. And so it's not a real wedding ceremony. Gurudev called it like a Gandharva wedding. Gandharva, this is like a play. It's the play of young personalities. I think I read today that at the time Krishna was quite young, like 7. So they were playing like this. Like Srimati Radhika and Krishna also had a Gandharva-like wedding in Bandirvan. But they never had a real wedding, otherwise there would not be Parakiya Bhav. Means the relationship of paramour, lover and beloved. So in this case, there was such a big festival. All the gopis throwing flowers, chanting marriage songs, and a big utsav took place. And although Lalita Sakhi was a bit shy and embarrassed, still she couldn't do anything about it because her clothes were tied to Krishna's clothes. So Srila Gurudev said something very interesting, because to this day you can go there and you can pour some water on the stone. There's a slide, a natural slide, like in the stone there's a slide where you could slide down. So the coward boys, but especially the gopis, would go there and slide down this slide with Krishna. And they would all take turns sliding. So they were having so much fun in that place. But this day of the wedding, this play wedding of Lalita and Krishna, that day, if you pour the water on the stone and you rub it, so much red comes from it. Srila Gurudev said, I have been coming to this place for 50 years. He said, no one is adding color. Maybe now some people do, but back in the day they weren't adding kumkum or anything like that. He said, from that time, from the time of Krishna, so much of this red color, this kumkum, was used for the wedding that still to this day it's coming out of the stone. So you see, when people pour water on that slide, they rub it and the red comes, and then the devotees are walking away with red faces and red clothes and everything. So this was a very beautiful pastime which took place in that location. Now the time is getting late. It's 7:35 Vrindavan time. I just wanted to reiterate what Sudevi ended with. Sudevi spoke about the prayer that one should ask. The thing is, today is Lalita Sakhi's birthday. And on the birthday of any person in Vedic society, they give. Unlike in Western culture, we want to receive and take. But in Vedic culture, it's considered extremely auspicious to give in charity on one's birthday. So she wants to give. What does she want to give? The best thing she can. That is to enter us into the service of Srimati Radhika. So on this day, she's freely giving. But on her birthday, also all of those who love her so much also want to give in charity. So who is that? Radha and Krishna also have so much love and affection for her. So they're also trying to give in charity. All of those mantris who are serving under her guidance, all of them also want to give in charity. So today is an amazing day, an amazing opportunity. Who is that person who is her maidservant? That is Sri Rupa Manjari. And who is also there with Sri Rupa? Rati Manjari, the best of these servants of Rupa Goswami. And what is her prayer? She's praying, Sakyayate nama namostu namostu nityam dasyayate mama rasostu rasostu satyam. Again and again she's praying that again and again I offer pranam to the position of being the Sakhi, or the girlfriend, the gopi friend of Srimati Radhika. But I have no desire other than serving. Dasyayate mama rasostu. This is the only rasa, the only taste, the only thing I have taste in is to be the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. So this personality, Raghunath Das Goswami, who in Gaur Lila is under the guidance of Swarup Damodar Goswami, is also praying in Braj in the form of Rati Manjari to Srimati Radhika. And she's also under the guidance of Lalita Sakhi, that I only want to be the Dasi of Srimati Radhika. So as our Prayojan Acharya, that Guru who is bringing us to our goal, teaching us how to attain our goal, as a real true Rupanuga, we can pray to all of these personalities. Please be merciful to us. Please accept us and please include us in this register. Please include me in the register of the maidservants of Srimati Radhika. This is my only goal, my only aspiration, my only hope. And today, on this day, Lalita Sakhi is freely giving her mercy to everyone. So on this day, we pray to her from the core of our hearts, although I have no qualification. Like Rupa Goswami said, what did he say? And then he said, I don't have any bhakti, not even as much as one sesame seed's worth of bhakti. But still, you have the power to make the impossible possible. So, we're not even aspiring directly for Krishna, but we are aspiring for that which Krishna himself is also aspiring for, to be engaged in the service of the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. So we can pray that although I don't even have any bhakti, still you are giving this greatest gift, and I don't have any qualification. Please awaken in my heart this greed, and then please enter me into this register. As Bhaktivedanta Thakur is praying in this beautiful bhajan, Shri Radha Krishna Parakamale Mana Kemana Lobive Charama Sharana. He keeps saying again and again, I have no thirst for that. I have so much thirst for things in this material world. But that's just a perverted reflection. So please dovetail it toward the original, real thing. I have so much thirst for sense enjoyment. So please enter me into the rasa pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Lalita Sakira Ayogya Kinkari Vinoda Dhari Che Pai. Bhaktivedanta Thakur is praying, please include me in your group. Please give me your mercy. Srimati Lalita Sakhi Ki Jai.
So just tomorrow for us is Radhastami. So you know that our program might go on a little longer. It might not be 5 hours like Janmashtami, but it will be a little longer tomorrow. So just so you know, we'll start at the same time, but be prepared. It might go a little longer.
And some of you may not be able to be present with us
Jiva
tomorrow.
Pavana Prabhu.
So I know Jiva Pavan Prabhu is also engaged in another seva.
But he might be there.
So anyhow, you're all welcome. And the more, the merrier. The more you hear about the glories of Srimati Radhika and her love for Krishna, the better. So even if it takes 20 hours out of your 24-hour day, great.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Srimati Lalita Sakhi Ki Jai. Shri Lalita Saptami Ki Jai. Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Maharaja ki jai, Hari Naam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Srila Sati ki jai, Lalita Satri ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Jai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Thank you very much for being with us today and giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga, and for engaging us in remembering the glories of Lalita Saki on her day, and for praying with us for that beautiful highest destination, that highest goal of being entered into her register for the service of Srimati Radhika. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow for Sri Radhashtami.
Jai.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Radhe.
Radhe, Radhe.
Radhe. Radha.
Jiva Bhavana Prabhu, so happy you're going to be there tomorrow.
Jai.
Radhe, Radhe.